It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the second hour of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. 7 to 9 on the airwaves, and also live video stream available over at tampabayradio.com. And we, of course, can invite you to connect with us all across social media, facebook.com/That Business Show, where you'll see a number of short video clips and also the guests that are coming up 24 hours before the airing of the program. And also, we do have a calendar available over on Tampa Bay Radio where you can see the upcoming guests weeks in advance as well. So just head over to tampabayradio.com and you can click on calendar across the menu bar and see that. And also, please connect with us on Twitter, Jamie_Maloney. On to today's program. On the second part of today's show, we'll be talking with Ashley Drummond. She is the creator of the ABS Protein Pancakes. She's been on the program before, and she's also going to be one of our panelists on the Shark Tank panel of experts at the upcoming Business Symposium on October 28th. So she was featured on Shark Tank and got a deal for her protein pancakes with Damon John. So we're going to be hearing her story on today's program. And we also invite you to come over to the Business Symposium where you'll hear a lot more about that and be able to take some questions and answers with her if you're in the in that business where you're looking to get on Shark Tank. Maybe you got a product out there you want to learn about her experience on Shark Tank. Definitely invite you out to the Business Symposium. And if for coming out for the Business Symposium, you get an invite to the event on October 20th, which will be a meet and greet with her and also a general business mixer at the Tampa Club from 6 to 9. So pick up tickets over at tampabayradio.com. $39 for TBBO members, $59 for non-members. Up first, I have Danielle Vona, founder and chief strategist with The Marketing Posse, and you can learn more about her at themarketingposse.com. Danielle is also a returning guest of the program and also a TBBO member, and so we welcome her to the program. Danielle, how are you doing today?
Great. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
So, The Marketing Posse, how did you come up with this name?
You know, that's an interesting question. When I first started the Marketing Posse, I literally sat down and said, what will be the easiest way to describe what it is that we do for people? And we didn't want to create a name that would be so catchy and interesting, but then not really talk about what we do. So actually, the first name was the Marketing Department. I mean, you can't get more standard than that.
It's kind of bland.
So,
like,
yeah, not very interesting. But it was the most descriptive because we're not really an agency. We're not really a consulting company. We are an extension of your marketing team. We do special projects, or we can be an outsourced resource. So we took that start, though, the Marketing Posse, and said, how do we make this more interesting and more fun? And so we started playing with different words to use for the department part. And we had a whole host of them, crew and, people and, all of those types of words. But the posse was the most interesting, and it was kind of cool and felt like a place you want to work, a place you want to be. So that was the one we ended up landing on. And the more we thought about it, the more we loved it. And actually, it has become also part of our process.
And I see this, yeah. This has a meaning behind it, too, now. Posse is an interesting word to highlight in your brand. What does it mean to you then?
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because when you first hear it, there are older people, like myself and maybe my husband, who think of cowboys and Indians. And then yet all the millennials think posse means my peeps, my crew, my people, right? So we're more in that younger camp. But it actually now is an acronym for us. It's our approach to business and how we think about planning. And just given the time of year, it's October. Most businesses should be in planning phase, so this feels like a good time to talk about what the posse process is. And so each letter is an acronym for how we approach every project in every business. Okay, so
you established the name, then you saw the opportunity for the acronym. So the acronym right. came second, and then now defines your process and your procedures at the Marketing Posse.
Exactly.
So let's start with the letter P then for purpose.
Yeah, so that's, before you do anything, whether it's business or marketing planning or anything, you really have to hone in on why are we here? What's the purpose? What role do we play in our customers' lives? What are we really trying to sell? And understanding that at its core will make all of the communications and messaging and planning so much easier. So the first P is all about your purpose and getting that super clear. So vision, mission, values for your company type of information.
And then you move on to objective.
Yeah, so you have to have those measurable growth targets. What is that you're trying to hit? Because you'll never know if you're successful if you can't measure yourself against those objectives. So really being clear about what they are. As a marketer, though, if you can't tell me what it is you're trying to achieve, it's hard for me to put the right programs together because there's lots of ways to approach a challenge. And so really understanding the objectives is critical.
Okay, so you define your purpose, define your objective, then you move on to a strategy.
Right. And the strategy and the objectives are different. A lot of people confuse these. The objectives is the specific thing you're measuring, and the strategy is the path you take to get there. And sometimes there are multiple paths. So the strategy is all about what is that path? What is the way we can get to our objectives, and how do we choose that based on the brand and what we're trying to do and be.
Okay, and then you move on to a solution.
Yeah, so that's the idea part, which is the most fun. So now you have the objectives and the strategies. You can really think about what kind of cool things can we do now to bring this to life in market. How do we go tell people about the stuff that we want to do or sell or be?
And then the final component of that is execution.
Right. If it's not executed well, it's all for nothing.
So POSSE is an acronym that stands for purpose, objective, strategy, solution, and execution. And then so those are how you look at each of your projects when a client comes to you. So can you give us an example of a recent project then that you worked on and how you applied this process to it?
Yeah, there's a new one that we just started doing some work with called the Melt Shop, which is actually going to be in Tampa Heights. So it's either under construction or just getting ready to start construction. It's in this very cool hip building. Think sort of Oxford Exchange-ish kind of setting that they're going to be creating. And so there's going to be a little restaurant in there called the Melt Shop, so gourmet grilled cheese kind of sandwiches idea. And so they came to us for social media. So that's sort of that's way back in the idea part of the process. Mm-hmm. So we pulled back and said, okay, let's have a really good group discussion and talk about the purpose and the objectives and what we're trying to achieve so that we can build a plan and then effectively communicate this. So we sat down with them. It was so much fun. And we really worked. What are the words? What are the things we're trying to be? What do we want to say? How do we want people to feel about this brand? And so it's a very sassy kind of brand. The owners are really a lot of fun, and we want all that to come out in the communications.
So we got a fancy grilled cheese shop coming around the corner then?
We do.
Awesome.
Tampa Heights. It's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be actually opening in mid-December, so keep your eyes open.
Is that part of that Armitage project over there, or is that separate? There's a big I think it's Armitage project.
Yeah, it's in the fall. What is it called? There's a building over there that they're actually converting. There'll be 7 little restaurants.
Yeah, I think that's that project over there on the river and everything. Right. Yeah, I think I'm saying that right. I think it's Armitage. I think I'm saying that right. It's an old building that they're restoring, and they're going to turn it into a shopping center with a lot of neat, cool shops. So grilled cheese is being another one of them. So very nice. I'm a big fan of the grilled cheese, especially as a bachelor. What better to make in the evenings than grilled cheese? It doesn't get any more simpler than that.
It is the ultimate in comfort food, for sure.
So how can our listeners apply the POSSE thought process to any marketing project?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing to consider is, especially for entrepreneurs and small businesses, I find we are so in the day-to-day work of what we're trying to get done and keeping the business moving, and we're lean and thin on what we have in terms of resources. So we're often running, and we don't take as much time to just step back and let's think about what it is we want to do and what we're trying to achieve. And now's a good time to do that, because you can then hit the ground in 2017 running if you take some time now to stop and think. And so really that would be the most important thing, is take this time now to just sit back and say, what is it that I want to achieve next year? How do I put some things in place that are going to actually achieve those objectives, and then how am I going to measure myself against them?
And so creating a marketing plan is something people need to be thinking about right now, even though we're still in this year, still trying to hit this year's goals. Marketing plan for next year, something to be considering, as well as next year's budget as well.
Right, exactly.
What has been your favorite marketing POSSE moment so far?
Oh my goodness, there are so many of them. I'm not sure I can pick one favorite. What I love most about what we do is that it's such a variety of challenges to tackle. There's really big companies in our portfolio like Time Inc. and Pepsi, and there's really small companies like the Melt Shop, as an example, that are in our portfolio, and the challenges we tackle for them are different every day. So I feel like it makes all of us better, and it makes them better, because then we can take all that experience and interesting experience we're in with different people and bring it to a variety of
now, do you work with
support.
companies of all sizes, small and large, to the solopreneur up to the Fortune 500 company, for instance?
Yep, absolutely, we do, and it has less to do with the size of the company and more to do with what they need. So, the bigger companies need different things. They either have special projects, or they need training and development programs, or they need facilitation of sessions, idea sessions, or offsites, those types of things, where the entrepreneurs and smaller businesses, they need outsourced marketing support because they don't have internal people. So we end up providing services that are more like.
Are more and more marketing companies just focusing on digital marketing and social media marketing, or the older traditional methods such as television and radio and billboards and bus benches, are those kind of getting pushed to the side in place of digital marketing?
That's been growing for a long time, right? So digital media and digital marketing has been growing for a long time, and the payout on it is always good, but it's difficult to make a complete conversion if you've been in the space of the bigger media for a long time. And they do play different roles. So, the media that you choose is back in that execution phase. So depending on who you're going after and what you want to say, then you should choose the medium. I do find that a lot of companies will choose the medium first. What I really need is social media, or what I really need is this. But if you don't know who you're trying to reach and what you want to say, then the medium is sort of irrelevant. So you got to decide those things first. There's always going to be a role for social media and for digital media in general. But I think whether or not you get rid of something like television is totally contingent on what your objectives are and what you're trying to do.
Would you say that different media campaigns reach different people in a sense, like billboards will get reactions from this group of people? Radio typically is usually conservative, right-wing type of people that listen to radio. If you're trying to reach a liberal audience, you probably don't want to use the radio, for instance. But the other methods out there, such as billboards and bus benches and televisions, are those usually specific to certain demographics people are trying to reach?
I think it's less about, it could be about demos. I think it's less about demos and a little bit more about the message and the experience. So there is nothing that, if you open a new restaurant, it's going to be hard to find a medium that is more specific than a big billboard that says right at the next exit is your restaurant.
Right.
Right. So it goes back to, I think it's almost more what you want to say than it is about the target specifically, although all of those mediums, depending on where you buy them, have different demos that you can buy. Okay. And usually a mix is the best way to tackle it. If you can do a mix of mediums that are targeted to that group across, with a consistent message across all of them, you're likely to have more impact.
Yep. Currently talking to Danielle Vona. She is the founder and chief strategist for the Marketing Posse. And again, Posse being an acronym for Purpose, Objective, Strategy, Solution, and Execution. And you can learn more about her at themarketingposse.com. We got a little bit more with her when we come back from the break on That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, your business becomes show business.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews, and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews, and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Did you know the biggest challenge business leaders face today is creating an engaged and productive workforce culture? Bill Meyer Ham Consulting wants to help you solve this challenge. They will help you transform your workforce culture to produce amazing business results. Call Bill Meyer Ham Consulting at 941-201-4650 today or visit BillMeyerHam.com. That's BillMeyerHam.com. Have a conversation.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Overnight crash from Pinellas Park on eastbound 118th Avenue North, approaching 275, knocked out a utility pole. Traffic still down to one lane there, and traffic slow from before US 19. May want to use Almerton instead if you're heading eastbound towards 275. Also a crash in Tampa, Hillsborough Avenue and 22nd Street, and on 40th, just north of Hillsborough. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Udork Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council. This report is brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council. Your garbage can be more than just garbage. Give it another life. Recycle. Learn more at iwanttoberecycled.org. A public service message brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Today, partly cloudy and low humidity with a high 84. Tonight, mostly clear, low 68. Tomorrow, warmer with just a 10% rain chance, high 86.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, your business becomes show business. Talking to Daniel Vona, founder and chief strategist with The Marketing Policy. You can learn more at themarketingpolicy.com. And Danielle, I see you've recently earned a new certification. Tell me about that and also the credentials in your business.
Yeah, actually, we have 2 new certifications that's very exciting. The first was about maybe 6 or 8 months ago. We were certified as a women-owned business in the state of Florida. And so there's quite a lot of work that goes into these certifications, and it was really exciting to get that. And there's some business opportunities that you get out of it and bidding and things like that for minority businesses. So it is a great sort of business tool.
So it's not just enough to own the business in your name as a female to qualify for that. You got to go through some process to get the cert.
Yeah, there's a significant amount of sort of paperwork. They look at your financials. They look at everything.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was
they want to make sure.
intensive.
Yeah, they want to make sure that you are really a women-owned business. The Florida one is less intense. The most recent one we got was actually had to be certified by a third party called WeBank. They did the third-party certification for us. That one is even more intense. They come and they come to visit your
what are they trying to do?
and
Try to
everything.
avoid the situations where the man puts a woman in front in terms of ownership, but
Yeah,
they're
or
really
there's-
running. Is that what they're
yeah.
trying to avoid, or what?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's that, or there's actually a man running the business, and the woman is not necessarily as involved in the business.
Okay, so that's
as
what
she
they're
says.
working. Okay, I
Mhm,
got you.
Yes. So, so as a good example, my husband is on our ownership papers, but he's not involved really in the business
Right.
at all. So, if you asked him what was going on, he'd have no idea, which
no
is
idea, right.
kind of awesome for me. But yeah, so we just got the certification, and that last certification is actually a national women-owned business certification. So for bigger companies, we now count towards their diversity objectives, which is important. So for companies where they have certain goals they have to hit on diverse supplier base, we now qualify for those supplier points that they get.
Okay, so how does being a woman-owned business and benefit other companies? Then I think you're starting to touch on that.
Yeah. So, and that is there are several benefits to having a diverse supplier base. The purpose of it is so that you actually have a diverse group of people thinking about your business, and those tend to be a better representation of your customer. Right, so you want your supplier base and your employee base, quite frankly, to represent the markets that you serve. That's really the reason companies do this. But then they have to put standards in place because the people that are actually buying may be used to going to the same suppliers or the same vendors all the time. And so by putting those standards in place, it requires them to actually bid things out and to have a more diverse supplier group. So now we would become part of that pool of people. So it's exciting to be a part of that and to see how that might help our business grow as we go forward.
What kind of clients are you currently working with, and are your services available all over the country?
Yes, they are, and I know we touched on this a little bit before, but so I work for the big companies, and the big companies tend to be more special projects or facilitation of events and activities. So, for example, we've done 3 or 4 planning facilitation sessions with Pepsi this year, which has been really fun. They've all been in New York, and they are, they'll be at like their design studio or in these cool places. And it's helping them do their planning, which is why I thought planning was such a good topic for this discussion today, because you've got big companies like Pepsi who are now thinking about how they're going to create their plan for next year, or they're wrapping up their planning for next year. And then we have medium-sized businesses, so we do social media and other kind of marketing activities for companies like Joffrey's. So they're not a big company like Pepsi, but they're not an entrepreneur, small business exactly either.
Right.
And they have marketing people, but they don't have enough support, and so we help them, and they're a great partner. And then we have the very small ones, which are either small businesses or solopreneurs that need help thinking about how they're going to plan their business. So it's quite a variety.
So what is the future for your company? Where do you see your company at in 5 years, for instance?
I have a dream. I do have a vision of what I want this to be. And part of it is to sort of have this place where marketers can come bring the projects they want or that they're working on and be part of a collective of other marketers who can help give them guidance or bounce ideas off of. So we'd have truly a posse. Mm-hmm. So we may have clients that we're working on specific projects, but overall we'd have this group of marketers that's kind of helping each other.
And what are your social media handles? And she invites you to tweet a marketing question to her. So what are your social media handles where people can reach out to you?
Okay, so we have the Marketing Posse is on Marketing Posse at Marketing Posse Twitter.
Okay.
We have Facebook, and we have
so at Marketing Posse's Twitter.
Yes.
Okay.
And then for Facebook, it's the Marketing Posse.
The Marketing Posse on Facebook.
And we also and we also have LinkedIn. Of
LinkedIn.
Course. Yeah.
All right. So she invites you to tweet or send over any marketing questions to them, and they'll be happy to help you out. So Danielle Vona, thank you so much for being in studio today.
Thank you, Jamie.
And again, you can learn more about them at themarketingposse.com. Coming back from the break, we'll be talking to Ashley Drummonds and Josh McClellan about ABS Protein Pancakes. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Kelly Ham from Bill Meyer Ham Consulting. Did you know that one of the biggest challenges that leaders face is getting their employees to be engaged, motivated, and producing amazing business results? At Bill Meyer Ham Consulting, we'll help you transform your workforce culture from one that might be underperforming, maybe mediocre, to achieving amazing business results. You see, we realize that your workforce culture is equally as important as your business plan and your business strategy. The two must be aligned in order for you to reach your desired business and financial goals.
Carol,
hey, Jim.
I just got this plan that could really help with our process here.
Okay, why don't you just have a seat and let's go over it.
Let us help you transform your workforce culture by leveraging your most important assets, your people. I want to know what's going on in your organization. Let us help you transform your workforce culture. Let's have a conversation.
I feel guilty that I can't always be there when Mom feels stuck at home. She was always there for us. But now she can't get out, and I'm not always available to take her places. Someone else needs to help her get around. Then I learned about Home Instead. Now Mom can do what she enjoys because her personal caregiver is there, and I can just be a daughter again.
Are you struggling to care for your loved one? We can help. Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
95.95.
This report is brought to you by McDonald's. Sip into a great morning with McDonald's McCafe coffee. McDonald's McCafe coffee is made with sustainable sourced 100% Arabica beans and brewed hot and fresh just for you. Enjoy any size hot McCafe coffee for $1. Only at McDonald's for a limited time.
1250 Winds Weather Center forecasts. Mostly sunny skies. Nice breeze today. Once again, temperatures in the mid-80s. Overnight lows getting back near 70 degrees. Starting tomorrow, we'll see the rain chance return. Still small, 10%. Going to be breezy for the rest of the week. A little bit warmer starting Wednesday, and for the remainder of the week, mid-upper 80s. Impact Radio 1250 Winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Time to bring in my next guest for the program, Ashley Drummond, who's going to be featured at the upcoming Business Symposium on our Shark Tank panel of experts. She is the creator and owner of Abs Protein Pancakes, and she got a deal with Damon John on Shark Tank. And so we're going to talk about that experience, and also if you're at the Business Symposium, she'll take some FAQs from you, and you can also meet her at the meet and greet on October 20th if you purchase a ticket to the symposium over at TampaBayRadio.com. That's a pre-mixer VIP event from 6 to 9 on October 20th at the Tampa Club. So again, please help support the show. Please help support the Tampa Bay business owners, and please help support local business owners by attending the Business Symposium and picking up a ticket. Everybody is invited out to the symposium. Again, TampaBayRadio.com. Just scroll down just a little ways, and you'll see this big blue graphic on there about the Business Symposium. If you click on that, you'll be taken over to the event registration page, and we would greatly appreciate your support for the event, and you'll be helping to support positive programming as well. And she's also joined alongside Josh McClellan, who is a personal trainer and who joined her on stage during the demonstration, or the pitch, I should say, in front of the Shark Tank panel. So Ashley and Josh, welcome to the program today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Thank you for having us, Jimmy.
And so Ashley is a returning guest of the program. We talked with her a few months back about this product. So it's Abs Protein Pancakes. So first off, tell us about the product.
Well, the product's kind of a funny story. So one of the things, we're both in the fitness industry, and one of the biggest meals that I love throughout the day is breakfast. And what people struggle with the most is their food and their nutrition. And in all honesty, nobody wants to drink protein shakes and eat egg whites all day long. So pancakes being something I love, I was just messing around in the kitchen making a recipe and figuring out something that I could enjoy for myself. At the same time, him and I had met and started dating. And I remember on one of our first dates, I was like, hey, I have this idea. I think I want to make a protein pancake business. And it was like, you want to do what? But
I heard pancakes, so I was all in.
That was it. That's all I needed.
So what are the ingredients that go into this versus a traditional pancake then? How are yours different?
So traditional pancakes, you think of Bisquick, Aunt Jemima, things like that. The base of them is actually enriched flours. It's a lot of processed ingredients. You get xanthan gum, maltodextrin, all these different things, which is why when you eat them, you feel so full and lethargic. The Abs protein pancakes, the base of it is a protein powder mix with coconut flour. So it makes it gluten-free. It makes it low carb, high protein, low sugar. So one of the biggest things that's been happening, parents are giving it to their kids now instead of giving them like Eggo waffles, and like they're eating them for post-workout, pre-workout, like before bedtime. Like you literally can eat them anytime throughout the day, and it's going to actually fuel your body and help with your fitness goals, as opposed to leaving you feeling just that like sluggish, bloated, nasty feeling.
So there's nothing on the market as a substitute for pancakes. There was no healthy pancake option then, or was this a...
There are.
Okay.
Yeah, there's healthy pancake options. Most of them are more of whole wheat pancakes, or you get the ones that they now claim to be gluten-free. But if you look on the back of the ingredient list, and we always tell people, even with his personal training clients, if you look at an ingredient list and there's anything that you don't recognize, or it's like 20 ingredients or longer, don't eat it, because you have no idea what that is. So that's the thing, is there are things on the market that are healthier. However, most of them are going to be still processed and with a lot of fillers, and they have 5-year expiration dates, which don't make sense at all with food. So yeah, this is just an alternative. Plus, you can make other things with it. You can make waffles, you can make brownies, you can make cupcakes, and it still gives you that sweet craving, but without all of the sugar, the fat, the carbs, and all the wheat.
So you made these protein pancakes just for yourself to satisfy your own craving.
Mm-hmm.
When did you know you had a product that was worth marketing, or how did that come about?
You know, that goes back to the whole like gut intuition feeling, because I kept eating it. And then I had clients back when I was training, and they were always asking, what do you eat for breakfast? I'm tired of eating egg whites. And I would give them like a little Ziploc bag sample of it. And then the first person asked me like, well, how much do I owe you for this? And that was kind of an aha moment of like, I wonder if this could ever turn into a business. And there was never a question of really, is this going to be successful? It was kind of like that moment was the marker of, this is going to be big, I need to go after this. And then when him and I were dating, it like literally like we were coming home and just packing orders and pancake after pancake, going to the post office every day. Like it just took off so quickly.
What do? Do you make them and freeze them and ship them? Is that how that process works? Or do you have to make them from scratch? How does that?
Everybody asks.
I was going to say, that's so funny. His friend thought we were doing that when we were like, we have thousands of orders. He's like, are you like making them and delivering them like Pizza Hut and Papa John's? We're like, no, it doesn't work that way.
No, I mean, are these like the the frozen Lego or Lego Mego waffles or whatnot? So you get a mix or something? Is that okay? Tell me about the product. Okay.
It's a dry pancake mix, and it comes in like a 1-pound bag. It has a scooper in it. And literally all you do is scoop, add an egg and water, and it makes 4 pancakes. So for 4 pancakes, you get the same equivalent of a protein shake. I mean, it's that simple. Even kids, like people are like, my kids can make these in the morning, and like now they're not eating all this sugar and all this candy and stuff. And so like it's 26 grams of protein, under 8 grams of net carbs, under 200 calories, and all natural, stevia sweetened. Like we just go on and on. People are like, what's your 30-second pitch? And we're like, gluten-free, high protein, low carb, all natural. So
you all were dating. Ashley, you had this idea. Josh, were you on board right away? You tasted the pancakes. You said, wow, this is a good product.
Yeah, not only were they pancakes, I was automatically on board. But I come from a background where fitness was like non-existent. So I had this whole lifestyle change and what even brought us together in the first place. And then anything to do with healthy pancakes, healthy food in general, that I was behind, definitely behind.
Okay. So you had the product and everything. When did you get, or how did you get on the Shark Tank? What was that process? Did somebody say you should get on Shark Tank? Did you see it on TV and say, I'm going to apply for that? How did that happen?
Yeah, so that's the same thing. Like, life brings you synchronicity sometimes, and right after we were dating, 3 months later, I moved to California because I felt pulled to California, and I was out there lining up a fulfillment and co-packer and all these. Even though the business hadn't gotten there yet, something was like, you need to go do this and get set up for this. And so I did. And in one day, I had 3 or 4 people were like, what do you do for a living? And I was like, well, actually, I'm trying to start a protein pancake line. And they're like, oh, you should go on Shark Tank. That's amazing. Like all in one day. And so like, I kind of feel like when life does it to you, like you get the same message 3 or 4 times a day, like maybe you should listen up and do something about it. So I remember calling him and I was like, hey, 3 people told me today I need to go on Shark Tank. I think I'm going to apply. I don't think anything's going to happen, but we'll see. And I applied, went through the process, like literally just went to Google how to get on Shark Tank, fill out the application. And this was in September of 2014, and completely let it go and like didn't hear anything. So just assumed like, well, maybe, you know, I'm sure thousands and thousands of people apply, which come to find out, I believe it's 150,000 people do apply every year.
Did you have to create a marketing video, or did you just put an online application and say, this is what I'm making, these are my sales, and kind of just hope that you get picked out of the 150,000?
That's how it starts. It starts out with just like a basic online form application. You tell them about the business. Hopefully you have a website they can go look at. And it's kind of just a shot in the dark. And I mean, that's exactly how I viewed it. Like, well, I hope they like somehow like pull out my name out of the bucket. And a lot of time had gone by. 6 months had gone by. I didn't hear anything. So just assumed like, well, no big deal. Like, I guess like the other 100,000 people got picked. And we were actually at an event in Costa Mesa. Like, we had a booth. We were doing this fitness thing for the Pancakes and other personal trainers. And I got this random call on my phone, and it was one of the producers from Shark Tank. This is 6 months later after you apply. And she's like, hey, we got your application. Sorry for the delay, but we would love to have you on the show. Yeah, and I was like, what? Oh, my God.
I had almost like forgotten about it. Like, I guess we did it.
Yeah, I forgot we even applied. Yeah. And like the first step of it was she explained, it was a very long process. They kept explaining like, okay, now you're going to go on to the next round. And the next round was, we need you to just make a video in your kitchen, tell us about the product, upload it on YouTube, and just send us the link. So it was, we still have the video. It's terrible. It's
so you didn't even hire a professional to do it?
No, I mean, this is more
I had like one of my buddies film us.
Right.
On our computer, like on a tablet. Like we were in the kitchen. We had like an extension cord going across the kitchen. We're cooking up pancakes on the griddle. And I think though, honestly, like when we look back at it, I think the authenticity of it is probably what made it stand out a little more, because like I think we even messed the pancakes up, like tried to flip, and it was a terrible flip.
Almost fell off the griddle.
It was terrible.
It was true though. It was us. So that's
and then so at the end we're like, hope you pick us, even though we screwed up. Sorry.
Is that on your check? Because I know you have a YouTube channel. Is that video still available on your channel?
It's not on the channel. We weren't allowed to put it up like that because it's part of the pitching process. We do still have the video, and maybe somehow we can show it at the TVBO event, because that would be really funny.
So they don't let you market that video anymore?
We can't market it.
To the Shark Tank?
No, but if people, I think, because sometimes like people think of Shark Tank and they think it's so like unreachable. If they saw how terrible this video was, I feel like it would hopefully encourage people like, hey, you don't have to be perfect. Like, just do what you can and throw it out there.
I mean, that's good to hear, because if I was in your position, I would have hired like a videographer. I would have meant some $5,000 video. I would have went all out on it and everything. But you just turned on the camera on your computer and hit record, and it's
terrible. Yeah, it really is.
So, after you created the video, then what was the next step? Then you got another phone call.
I think we had to upload it to YouTube, and we sent it over. And that's like the stressful part of it is nobody tells you anything about like, okay, you should hear back in a week, or okay, like somebody's going to let you know there's another round. You're like, is this it? Is this the final part? And so you'd send it in, and they're like, okay, thanks. That's it. Like silence for a few weeks, and you're like, oh, I guess they didn't pick us. I don't know. And then like a week later, you get a new producer that calls you. Hey, we really liked your YouTube video. We would like to move you on to the next round. You're like, oh, we're still moving.
All these rounds. So many were like, that's what.
What do you think attracted them to your product? Is there just like a limited market for this? Do you think they looked at, just viability of the product and they saw this as an opportunity, or was there something else you think that was attracting them to your application?
It's a good question. I never really thought of like the product so much. I honestly think it was more just how we were on all of the audition tapes, on the phone calls, on everything. And I mean, it is a unique product, but they get thousands and thousands. Like we saw stuff that was more unique than this. But I think a lot of it just had to do with like the story and the process of all of it.
Yes and no. I mean, healthy pancakes, it's an oxymoron. Like it's not usual. So I think it's still very unique in what.
Now, can you use the same procedure to make other, products in place of pancakes, other things that are using flour-based ingredients? I mean, is that part of your product line too? Do you do this with other flour-based products?
Not yet. Like that was one of the initial things. Like that was the plan of, we'll do this now with like muffins and breads and all these things. But honestly, like we've talked about this because there's other companies out there that like start out as like a protein bar or a protein powder, and then they expand so big and keep going and going. People are like, wait, no, like you guys are the protein bar people. Like now you're making all these other weird products and stuff. So we've kind of kept it the pancakes and waffles, the breakfast foods. However, now because fortunately from Shark Tank, we've had other opportunities that are still in the fitness and nutrition niche. Like we've had people here in like the Hillsborough County, Sarasota school system that have reached out to us of like, hey, can the Abs Pancake team come cook up some pancakes and talk to the kids about nutrition and fitness? Because like kids today, they're going to the cafeteria eating candies and Cokes and all these things, and they're failing their FCATs, and they're not like, they're having reading disabilities, and they're not staying into things. So like now it hasn't been so much of like making other food products because the pancakes and waffles are doing very well and more opportunities come up. It's more of like, now how can we give back and help the community with this leverage and the experience that we've been given?
Now, are these in storefronts and available online? Where can people get the product right now?
So mostly online. There are some storefronts that we're working with now, and of course, like everything, it's a process. So, but online, you can get them on abspancakes.com. They're on Amazon. They're on Zulily. They're on shop.com. They're on HSN. So, I mean, there's a lot of different platforms online. If you just Google Abs Pancakes, it'll pop up.
Yep, abspancakes.com. Got to take a break here. Coming back from the break, I want to talk about the experience of standing up in front of the Shark Tank panel on the program. Currently talking to Ashley Drummond's creator of the Abs Protein Pancakes, alongside Josh McClellan, who is a personal trainer, and her boyfriend, who was also on the Shark Tank episode with her. So we'll talk about their experience when we come back from the break. You're listening to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, your business becomes show business.
What's up, business rock stars? Are you ready to bring out the CEO in you? Join Julianne Nichols, CEO of Focus on You Strategy, every other Friday on That Business Show. She'll be talking with other chief entrepreneurial officers about how they grew their businesses. Remember, you could join the conversation at Focus on You Strategies Focus Fridays Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. That's facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. Be the CEO of you.
I knew Mom wanted to stay at home. It's the center of her family, her life. But helping Mom stay in her home while managing mine was just too much. Honestly, it wasn't just about me. Mom didn't want me to be her caretaker. She wanted me to be her daughter. I felt so alone until I found out about Home Instead Senior Care. When we met the people at Home Instead, we just knew they were different. The experience was personal. And most importantly, for Mom and me, I get to be her daughter again.
Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
At Vein 911, we will help you feel great again. Do you have restless legs, night leg cramps, or ankle swelling? Restless legs, cramping, swelling, and tired heavy legs are often symptoms of hidden vein disease. You do not have to have visible bulging veins to have the symptoms of vein disease. The vein care specialists at Vein 911 are uniquely qualified to evaluate and treat your veins. Are you unhappy with your previous vein treatment? Vein 911 succeeds where others fail. Call Vein 911 today at 855-VEIN-911. That's 855-834-6911 to book your free consultation. Vein 911. We will help you feel great again.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Heavy traffic on westbound 54th Avenue North at Park Street. Crash there, blocking a lane or two. Also heavy traffic on eastbound 118th Avenue North between US 19 and 275. It is down to one lane as you approach 275. And heavy traffic on the southbound side of the Veterans Expressway from Hillsborough Avenue to 275. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by SOS Children's Villages. War, poverty, and disaster have left millions of children around the world orphaned, abandoned, alone. When their parents can't be there, SOS Children's Villages is there in 134 countries, including the U.S. To make a difference in a child's life, go to sosusa.org.
Today, partly cloudy and low humidity with a high 84. Tonight, mostly clear, low 68. Tomorrow, warmer with just a 10% rain chance, high 86.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Hey, and welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Talking to Ashley Drummonds and Josh McClellan. They're the creators, I should say, of the Abs protein pancakes, available at abspancakes.com. And so, Ashley, you got on the Shark Tank panel here. You're up there. You're behind the scenes. Talk to me about this process. Are you in there in the back with all the other participants, and then they call you out one by one? Take me through this process now.
Oh, man. So you're back. I'll preface all of this with leading up to this point. They let you know that even if you are backstage preparing your product and your pitch, you might still not walk on and pitch, which is so stressful when you're back there like trying to perfect everything and make it right, and you hear people pitching and they're like, if they go over, or if everybody like takes 2 hours in there and then there's no time.
So you're in the back and you've been picked and you're still not guaranteed to come out.
Yes.
Wow.
This is even after about a year-long process.
Yeah.
Okay. So what? So somebody else's just time can affect yours? They only have so many hours in the day then.
Right.
Yeah.
So they explain to you that the longest pitch I think they ever had was 2.5 hours or something like that, and the shortest. Right. The shortest was like 25 minutes. And so they said, like, if this goes over too long, like, we're really sorry, but that's it. Like, you don't make it. And so you're like, oh my God, not only am I trying to make my product perfect, and then we're trying to like rehearse our pitch and like, okay, how did we do this timing? But then like, you just hope like please people get done, like get done in time. So we were backstage, like we had a trailer that we shared, I think, with like 5 other entrepreneurs. But like while you're back there, you can't talk to the other people. You can't talk about your producers, about how you got on the show, because funny, some people did start talking to us about the process and the audition, and they had to go to like casting calls and went through like this very long process. They're like, what about you guys? Where did you go? And we're like, we just uploaded a YouTube video. We didn't even know there was casting calls. Mm-hmm. But so when we finally got there, we had to get there a day early. That was full rehearsal. So just like a wedding rehearsal, you do it from start to finish as if you are in front of the Sharks, except for as if it's less intimidating. You do it in front of the entire producers of ABC Shark Tank. You have like 15 people watching you, like, okay, go, make it perfect. You're like, I don't know what's worse.
It's still just as stressful because they also ultimately decide if you even get in front of the Sharks as well.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, so you're back there, and then when did you get the call? How long did you have to wait in the back?
We arrived on set, I think, at like 7 a.m. or something like that. We were there at 7 a.m. I had to go through our hair and makeup, and then they kept switching us from like dressing room to different dressing room, like almost like if you're up to bat, like now you're on deck, now you're in the hole, like all these things. And so we just kept standing back there. I feel like it was probably 3 or 4 hours that we just waited, and like eventually you kind of just get discouraged and like the adrenaline dies down. And then I feel like it went from 0 to 100 real fast, because we were back there. Somebody walks in and starts miking both of us. Somebody's fixing our makeup. Somebody's lint rolling us. Camera crew's back there. They tell us we got 3 minutes to cook our pancakes and prep it and to get it. We're like, what? Oh my God, we're going on. Like, what are we doing?
And you get out there, and how tough were the sharks on you? Now, she's on season 7 also for people that would like to look this up, and you got to deal with Damon John, but how critical were the sharks of you throughout the process?
Well, you can answer that.
I think they were obviously very critical about the actual business part of things, but they were more interested on how it even worked. They were asking more questions about about us, our story, and then how the product was even made and how it even came about before they got into the business questions, which was pretty funny because usually they automatically, what's your numbers? You know, Mr. Wonderful. That's how he's always about. But he was actually very nice to us too, in case y'all were wondering. But yeah, I mean, they were obviously very critical, but more interested about the product.
That's what was so funny is like they emphasized like you need to know your numbers. These sharks are brutal. Like you need to know. And so like we studied it so much. And then the first 20 minutes we're out there, they're like, so are you supposed to have low carbs or more protein? How much do you work out? How did you guys meet? And I'm like,
they started asking you fitness questions.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
You're like, this has nothing to do with the business, but this is so much easier.
And what was your offer? What did you want and what did you get? What was your initial pitch?
We asked for $120,000 for 40% stake. And then the first offer we actually got was from Robert. And he offered
50%.
50% for that amount?
For the 120, yes.
For the 120, yeah.
Okay.
And of course, like we're standing, and you can see it. Like both of us have this like deer in the headlights look of like we don't want to do 50%. Like that's
and
not
you
what
don't
we're
have
for.
time to talk about it, right? You got to make a decision right then and there.
This was after everybody, all the investors had already gone out as well. So it was kind of like our only offer, our last option. And that's what's funny is at that moment too, we had no, other options. The other investors started actually like fighting for us. Like, wow, Robert, you're going to take 50%. They're already coming in asking for a pretty decent
not
price.
A crazy valuation.
Not a crazy evaluation already. So it was kind of like beating us down, and it was pretty funny to see them fight for us a little bit.
And
what did you end up with? What did Damon?
We got Damon actually. So right when we were like we negotiated with Robert, and it was like, God, I really don't want to do 50%. Like we purposely gave 40, and like right at the last minute, I think Damon was defending us to Robert, and he like looked at us and he's like, I'll do 120 for 42%, but you got to do it right now. And it was like done.
So you got basically what you wanted. You just lost 2% over what you were asking for.
Yeah, so not a big difference, and way better than 50%, but yeah, we got to deal with FUBU.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, that's an incredible story. Wish you had more time to go into it more in depth, but we got to wrap up this segment of That Business Show. So, Ashley and Josh, great story. Thank you both so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having us.
And again, you can meet Ashley and Josh at the upcoming Business Symposium, and if you buy a ticket, you'll see them at the VIP event on October 20th at the Tampa Club from 6 to 9. So again, she's going to be on our Shark Tank panel of experts talking about her experience, and hopefully she can dig up that audition video too. I'd like to see that. Give some encouragement to people out there that you don't always need to invest thousands of dollars. Sometimes just basic equipment will get the job done, which it did in their situation. You can learn more about this and order the product over at abspancakes.com. Learn more about this program. All shows available on demand as well over at tampabayradio.com, and be sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, your business becomes show business.
The preceding was a commercial program paid for